17mm socket for your drain plug. And if you can get one of these claw type filter wrenches, those are a little handier than most. I also have a cap style that slips on, but it comes off really hard, so it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt. And short 3/8 ratchet keeps everything out of the way and keeps from bumping into the plastic and stuff. A nice drain plug, drain pan, and quality oil and filters. The difference between K&N is from Wix and most other types is the flow rates are much better. But the thing with the Wix is the filter media area, the area that actually filters the oil, is the best in the business out of any other filter in the world, and the flow rates are still very good. So kind of do what you want to do. The 17mm bolt for your drain plug will also fit the K&N's bolt, like what you'll see on, I've got one on the Z actually. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but whoops, that's it right there. So those are the things you'll need and the reasons why. The Motul oil, I used to run AMSOIL, but the Motul, I think it has the esters and there's another property to it that makes it stick to the parts when it's not running, which is very good. So let's begin. And this time I'm going to put my drain plug back in it, unlike the last time when I didn't, and about a quart of Motul, approximate cost $20, went all over the floor. Also, you should wear rubber gloves. Ooh. Ooh. Remember to do that so you don't get marbled. This is still in really good condition, this oil, as you can tell. But getting to be that time of year, might as well get it done, I figured. And with rubber gloves, you don't get any oil on your skin, which is good. Another thing you can do is give the, it's sealed on the inside anyways, but oh my goodness. Man, she was tight. And then you have your claw. That's not going to work as good either. Which I thought that one worked, but that one doesn't give me as much room. And it does kind of hit into my plastic. So I will not bother using it. And I will use this one. And hopefully it won't come apart too hard. And it's only like 8 pounds of torque on the filter. And then you don't have to bust it off with an air hammer or some craziness like that. You don't want them too tight. And the drain plug is, I believe, 16 or 17 foot-pounds of torque. And you can check it with an actual torque wrench. And I'll show you what one of those look like. They're relatively inexpensive if you don't go crazy. There it is right there. All you do is roll it up, and they have digital ones that are totally idiot proof. But that one there was like, I think $60 or so, and they can be, you know, upwards of a few $100s or more, I'm sure. But that does the job. I'm so impressed how nice and beautiful it is. Yeah, last time I started filling it without putting that little thing right there back in it. Could have gone smoother. I had actually done the same thing to my car. Like the last time that I had changed my car's oil, so I don't know if I was trying to convince myself I was a F-stick or what, but I was getting pretty well convinced at that point. And I like to clean the plug up, get all the debris and stuff off it. You can even flip your crush washer around. Like I've said, I don't bother changing them unless they start to deform and stuff. I've never had a problem with them leaking. A lot of the times, I mean, they're only like, you know, they're the only thing that have remained cheap, you know, $1 or something for one. So I actually have a whole bunch of them. But like I said, it doesn't really seem to do much good, and I kind of like the idea of it having that fixed place. So, anyhow. They seal on like crazy, which is lovely, but there we go. There we go. Yeah. See, that's the wicks. I'm going to be putting on a K&N. Not because it's better, just because. Napa is made by Wicks. That's another thing to remember. That's for my vehicle. So if you're getting Napa, you're really getting Wicks, and you're getting good quality. So have no fear. And as you can tell, that's a lovely, beautiful 17mm bolt head. Can't get any simpler. And as I've stated in the past, you want to at least get oil on your little O-ring seal there, but I like to also fill them, and it will suck it up very quickly. There it goes, there it goes. And that way there, it's not filling it as the motor runs, or making your motor run dry for however many seconds it takes. Just a simple little trick to help your motor a little bit more. I even like to put a few daubs on the back side of the seal, just to ensure whatever it ensures. I know my plug is already in it, my drain plug, and see how all that oil's disappearing already. It holds about 2/10 of a quart, so that's quite a lot. And see how pretty that oil is. I love this oil. Motul also makes some stuff called 7100, and that's for bikes with catalytic converters. It has a low ash formula so that they don't gunk up as quickly. But you know, if it gets that bad, I'd certainly get rid of my little resonator. Or I shouldn't say little, it's a monster. Which I might anyways. I am seriously considering a tailor-made exhaust. Simply because I love the way they look, and I like the idea you don't have to use the cross piece to just put your, you know, little slip-on on it. You know, it's all one thing. The exhaust actually takes place of where the catalytic converter goes, which is ingenious, and it looks amazing. It's all flush right with your fairing, which is definitely the way it should be. I'm going to put a dab more in. Make sure you have a funnel designated just for your bike oil changes, so no other oils get in it, for one, and for two, you know it's in tip-top condition, because I hate the idea of even a little bit of contamination getting in my bike's motor. No good. And also, you can wipe up around your filter area. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there's a little bit of dirtiness and road grime on the bottom. And that has sucked up the second dose of oil, so that should show you the importance of putting a little bit in it. See what I mean, how easy this is? I mean, my Honda's was kind of a nightmare because you had to take off the fairing and it had to be put back so delicately, and I'm not a master engineer Japanese man. I'm gonna have to degrease all my chain lubes flinging off and making a small mess here. It really piles up near the front sprocket area because the heat from the motor and it flinging off little by little. And there you have it. Now all you need, get your hands as clean as you can for handling the funnel and opening things up and what have you. Well, then you go over here. Finish taking off your filler cover. I use 540. because an inline 4, I mean, 1030 is kind of normal for, unless it's really hot out. And I thought that 540, being that this is a quality oil, would be a really nice combo. Hi, sis. I don't know if you can see that titanium header pipe, but it's beautiful.
Oh, really?
Blue and purple. Yeah, I'll let you see in just a second.
Okay.
Or if you want, you can go around the front of the bike.
Sure.
See, look inside the crack right there.
Okay.
See it right down in there?
Uh-huh. It's so pretty and rainbowy. Could I help you with anything washing your bike?
Yeah, when I get ready to clean it, you can, but I'm going to go change out of my leather pants and stuff first.
Then maybe you could have your cookie.
If you want, you can pour the rest of the oil in.
Oh, sure.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah, just let it keep dumping, but don't,
Thanks. Are we on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looks like I'm going to be on TV.
Looks like it. My foot peg's a good holder. Okay, I got it. Refasten your oil filler cap. And give your hands a wipe so you don't get any oil on your key. And gentlemen, start your engines. My oil light never comes on. I think it's because of what I do with the filter as far as filling it up. It's at 138 now, so it never, I did it pretty much as soon as I got back home, so it was nice and warm. It sounds pretty great. That's another reason I'm hesitant to mess around with the exhaust at all, because then you got to do your fuel management, you know, Bazaz or whatever you use for that, which is a few $100, and then have somebody do it, which is another at least $100, because that's the sort of thing I won't mess with. I don't know enough about it to make it perfect, and that's what I expect it's going to be. And right now the fueling on it is flawless. I mean, you can not give it any throttle and just let it put along. I mean, it's just perfect. My fuel's down nice and low, so I'll be able to put some gas in it, like I said, the beginning part of the winter, because I start them like once or twice a month, just to keep the carbs and everything working, and or not carbs, but whatever the electronic fuel injection has now. I think they do somewhat have carbs because it's a throttle body injection, so each carb gets a shot electrically instead of like the old style where it just pours it into the carbs. However, now they've got little sprayers that spray into each carb, as to where like with a car with real electric fuel injection, it goes, I think, straight into the cylinder, and there really is no in between. There's, you know, each cylinder has its own coil and all that sort of gadgetry. Which I don't know. I mean, there's nothing like a old ZX10R when you hear them things run. I mean, there's just something about them, or an old 4-barrel car. There's something to be said for the original technology. It's like Jay Leno was talking about the electric cars in the early 1900s. Like 1919, there was an electric car, and they were hugely popular. They were like $2,500, and they would go like 70 miles on a charge. So when you think about that technology compared to today's, I mean, really, is it any better? Not really by much. Of course, they didn't have a huge amount of power, but they didn't really need it because they didn't have fancy wheels and tires and all that sort of thing. So, but I love them anyway. So.